Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, a lot of breaking news with Terry Reynolds, Director at the Nevada Department of Business and Industry, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Take a look at Pro Group Management and see how your workers' comp requirements can be met head-on. By taking a proactive approach, Pro Group can assure that your company is meeting or exceeding state and federal standards. As you move forward in your industry, Pro Group moves with you, simplifying regulatory tasks, clearing the way so you can get the job done and look to your future success. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Nevada Newsmakers Studio is located at the headquarters of the Nevada Trucking Association. Motion and purpose are a truck's greatest virtue.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased to welcome back to the program Terry Reynolds, Director of the Nevada Department of Business and Industry. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Sam.
So an interesting time here for state government. We have the transition going on. Democrats and Republicans are part of this committee, correct?
That is correct. It is actually a fairly broad transition committee. A lot of people that I have worked with, both from a policy standpoint to legislature to just regular business people that we see in the course of our business.
Well, and you have an amazing depth of experience, right, from county government to city government to experience on a state level. So you really have a broad swath of experience yourself there. It seems to me, in looking at the state at this point in time, that we are in a boom period for various reasons that appears to be perhaps 20 to 30 years going forward. Am I correct about that?
You are, and I think there's several drivers of that. One is that gaming has actually taken a resurgence. We've seen a lot of interest in tourism, but also in the creation of new gaming activities, new casinos, new theaters. The Allegiant Stadium has brought in a professional team of the Raiders, but also a venue for large-scale events in the community. T-Mobile is another place that has been incredibly successful. We've got the Sphere, we've got Resorts World, we've got Fertitas are going to build a new property on the Strip. I mean, my goodness, it has really, we haven't seen growth like that, substantial growth in that industry over really the last 20 to 25 years. In addition to that, we're seeing what I would say kind of a double whammy. We're seeing industrial development, we're seeing high-tech development within the state. Washoe County has seen the growth with the Reno Tahoe Industrial Park, with new businesses coming in. We're working with several businesses right now that are looking at not only coming in, but also businesses expanding. And also within Las Vegas, and we're seeing new interest in industrial business in Las Vegas, which we haven't seen before, which will broaden the economy there, which is a much needed aspect of their business.
Yeah, and the TRI model has been remarkable in the fact that basically somebody took the piece of land that they owned, in this case Roger Norman, and put the infrastructure in prior to the properties being built. So somebody would come to the park and say, yeah, I'm interested, and you get a grading permit the same day. And then we saw in North Las Vegas pick up on the concept of we've got to get these things permitted more quickly.
That's right.
Do you see the potential for that happening in Clark County or Washoe County? Because that just seems to be such a game changer for these large companies.
I think it's going to happen in Las Vegas. I was down in Las Vegas yesterday meeting with North Las Vegas on a potential business. They're looking at bringing in infrastructure, bringing in businesses that will help with the roads, water, sewer, power, all of the components that you need for really a successful industrial park. And when a business comes in, they want a place to go. They want property. They want to be able to not have to worry about, well, am I going to have power within a period of time, or, what am I going to be able to have to do to just as the entry to get my building built. They want to be able to get in, get their facility going in a rapid, fashion. They don't want to have to spend, well, it's going to take you a couple of years before you get to this point. So that's what they want to hear. They want to hear that the land is developed and ready to go to be able to set up and go with their business. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that in Henderson. We're seeing that in now Mesquite. We're going to see that probably in the Searchlight Gene area, and we're going to see that at Apex. It's going to take some time, but it'll be there, and it's going to change the face of our economy in the state. We've seen that in Washoe County, but we're also seeing kind of a resurgence of renewable energy. We're seeing solar, we're seeing geothermal, we're seeing businesses go in and incorporate that from day one into their building. It was really kind of funny when we dealt with Fulcrum Zero Bioenergy, taking garbage and changing it into jet fuel, and they're now operating. But one of the things that they did was to incorporate renewable energy into their facility from day one, and to have recycling of water, to have a variety of options for power in their facilities. So, that's something that it wasn't like, well, we're going to think about that. It's like, no, we're going to do that today.
Well, and isn't that probably the biggest deal, is that, as we're moving to a more of an all-electric society, that we need that infrastructure here in Nevada. And, NV Energy put out a piece about a week or so ago talking about, the need to generate more electricity within the state of Nevada. And if we're going to do all these things, we need more power. I mean,
right.
We do not have enough, especially when California doesn't help matters by running out of steam when it gets hot.
Well, I think it's that, but it's also having advanced battery technology.
Yes.
It's the storage of power. It's being able to utilize not only electric energy, but also storing that energy and being able to call on it when the cycles are down, or there's that you have these demands that come in. And we're seeing Redwood, and we just passed this I'm on the Go-Ed board, and we just passed their abatement for that. That technology that they're going to put in to be able to recycle batteries is going to really revolutionize the industry. Because what we're seeing right now is that a lot of states have lithium, and they'll be producing lithium, but Nevada is in the I think the driver's seat, because not only do we have raw lithium that we can produce batteries for, but we also have battery companies. And now we'll have the ability to recycle batteries within our communities. So we're going to go the full cycle of being able to produce, to mine, produce, and recycle. We're going to have all those components within our state. That's a game changer for Nevada. And we're going to be the only state in the United States that has that.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Thacker Pass up north of Winnemucca it seems like most of the legal things are being dealt with, and so they'll be able to move forward. But how do you balance out the environmental desires versus the practicality? Because, you know, in talking to a lot of these lithium companies here on the program over the last couple of years, this has become a matter of national security.
It has, and Sam, I think once again I'll reiterate that the fact that having recycling as part of that, so you're not always just going in and mining, producing, and throwing away. You're going to have to be able to recycle and use the existing materials so that you're not always going in and mining for that. And so that's going to have to be part of the overall supply chain process that we see within the production of lithium. The other part of it is that we're going to have to be conscious about environmental controls. And the mining industry has gone through that over the years in terms of basically redeveloping and you know, going in and replanting and working with wildlife and taking and using the proceeds off of mining to invest back environmentally and not just leave a site and then never come back to it. So that's going to have to be incorporated in that. Is there expense to that? Yes, there is. Do we need to look at the long range in terms of how we look at those mines and how we produce it and then how we recycle it? Yes, we do. And that should be a policy that's developed over time. We have to be smart about it. We can't just say, go ahead. We have to say, okay, what's the future impacts going to be and how we're going to deal with that.
We're also on the cutting edge of a lot of different industries. One that you know, is just really starting to get big play in the state, but it's actually been going on for quite a while, is the semi-trucks that Tesla is building. You want to share a little bit more information about that, because it's really been under the radar until just this past week.
You know, it's been interesting because, gosh, it's been 7 or 8 years ago we saw, you know, Tesla announced that they were going to, and Elon Musk, that they were going to develop these electric semis and trucks, you know, to be able to haul goods. And everybody thought, well, looked at that and thought, well, we'll see. Well, it's a reality today now, and we're seeing, you know, we're seeing development of electric batteries and the power units that go with those to be able to extend the range for long periods of time.
Yeah, it's 500 miles
500
for
miles.
These new trucks that they just delivered to PepsiCo.
And we're going to see vehicles that be able to do the same thing. So you're going to see light-duty delivery trucks, or you're going to see the long-haul trucks have that ability on that. And so that, we know that Panasonic is going to be expanding. We know that Tesla is going to be expanding. We know that there is new battery technology. We're working with a company right now that's basically building a better lithium battery, and they're getting ready to mass produce those batteries. And we're working with them to make sure that that comes to reality, and they want to be in Nevada. They want to stay here and they want to build their facilities here. So we're looking at financing options for them. So we know that that's coming, and we know that there's a good future for our state in that area.
Okay, so in previous discussions on this program, there's been talk about the size of that Tesla/Panasonic factory extending out to 16 million square feet eventually. Is that something that's going to be happening in the next couple of years, do you think?
We think that there's a potential for in the development starting probably in the next year to 2 years and going out another 5 years, that could be the case.
Wow. Switch has, you know, since they got purchased, that they've been a little more under the radar than they were before. Not that they were exactly above the radar. Are we seeing an expansion of them in their data centers?
We are. We're looking at probably expansion, not as quickly, but I would think in the next 3 to 4 years we're going to see expansions both in Southern Nevada and Northern Nevada. I think you'll see the Southern Nevada expansion happen first.
You know, it was funny. I saw Rob Roy give a speech at the Nevada Museum of Art a couple of years ago, and he was talking about 5G technology and what it was going to mean, and it was incredibly exciting. I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what that's going to mean. Does that come up in your discussions?
Well, it does, because one of the things that we're looking at is the ability to have 5G within our our communities within our cities, and to be able to support autonomous vehicles. That's going to be a safety factor for autonomous vehicles, that communication with those vehicles, to be able to handle that. And 5G is really going to make those really a reality. So communities that have that are going to be the first ones to see, that have that technology, to see communication with autonomous vehicles. And that means that they can deploy a vehicle to you, on an app immediately. Or they can deliver product, or they can pick up a group of people from point A to point B, not from standard locations, but from, I'm here and I need a vehicle, I need somebody to pick me up and get me over to this point. So 5G, I think, is very, very important to see that happen.
Were you concerned, I'm sure that you saw the article in the New York Times about, I believe it was either the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, talking about how Tesla had bid on various cities and then withdrawn their bids for doing the tunneling, with the boring company and providing services. They have obviously huge plans for the Las Vegas Valley. Is there any concerns about that based on that article?
We've worked with them on the technology. We've gone down, and I've actually ridden on the vehicles down in the tunnels and looked at how the process and how the boring happens, and our mine safety teams have been down there with them to look at what they're doing and how they're doing it and making sure they're safe. We feel that that they're going to really revolutionize transportation within the Las Vegas Valley. Now, with that said, we're at the rate right now with the tourism and the need to move people that we need just about every type of transportation.
Who knew the monorail was going to be such a success?
Yes, but it's not only, it's going to be where you have hub points, but if people want to go out and go to restaurants or go to different areas, you're going to need different types of transportation, both below ground to get them under to hotels, to the convention center, or to go to, they want to go to a restaurant out at Red Rock, or different areas within the community. So we're seeing a huge demand for transportation. Our taxi industry, as you know, we regulate the taxi authority. We're back over 1.2, 1.3 rides a month within the taxi. And we're seeing them come back, and the need to have more taxis out on the street. We're seeing a revolution in the model of not only just owned taxis, where a taxi company hires drivers and puts them out, but also lease taxis, where you have multiple drivers lease a taxi and use it, and so that vehicle is out basically 24/7 because they have different leased owners that take it for different shifts in the valley. So it's revolutionizing how we think about public transportation.
Well, and I think that Uber and Lyft revolutionized the taxi business because they needed to be brought into the modern era, and they finally were. Let's take a break here and give us both a chance to, well, I'm going to make some money. You're going to get to relax for a minute. We'll be right back.
Ring in the holidays with $350,000 big holiday extravaganza at Carson Valley Inn. Over 1,000 winners. Weekly cash, free playing up to $10K in cash every Saturday. And 2 grand prize drawings. Win up to $20,000 in cash. 'Tis the season for winning big at the Carson Valley Inn.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
Safety is the #1 priority for the trucking industry. Over $7 billion a year is spent on technology like this electronic eye that will apply the brakes automatically. But the most important factor for safety is the truck driver. These hardworking men and women who safely move over 70% of our nation's freight and 94% of Nevada's. We thank you because trucks move America forward.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path To make sure your business stays ahead of the curve, knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Oh, what fun it is to win during the $100,000 Christmas giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Up to $17,000 in cash and free play giveaways each week, and over $20,000 in giveaways on New Year's Eve, including up to $10K in cash. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Terry Reynolds. He's the director of the Nevada Department of Business and Industry. I think one of the big economic drivers in Southern Nevada is eventually going to be the Ivanpah Airport. I saw on LinkedIn that somebody has been hired to be the face of this down in Southern Nevada, but it's not being discussed too much. Where are we, if you can share, with the development of the second airport for Las Vegas?
You know, Sam, I worked on that on the periphery in my private consulting days, but I think as you see the expansion of McCarran, and there's going to be limits to that, and I think we're going to see those limits happen within the next couple of years. They're going to have to go out and start the development of Ivanpah. And so it's been really kind of a wait and see, because the airline traffic, as you know, was down considerably during the pandemic. It came up during the end of the recession, and then it went back down again in 2021, and then came back. I think they've reached the point where they've done 5 million visitors back, into the airport, and that's an all-time high for them. They were after the break of the recession, they were going up to around 4 to 4.3, 4.4. Well, now it's over 5, and that's signaling the fact that they're going to get to capacity pretty quick.
Marilyn Kirkpatrick told me on this program about 1.5 years ago that she thought that Ivanpah was going to be in business before she would be termed out, which would be about 9 years from now, 8.5, 9 years from now. Does that sound about right to you?
I would say so, and I think that's been, I think it's starting to accelerate right now. I think
really?
They're going to have to do something. So I would venture to say that she is correct. That's probably going to be the 7 to 9 year time frame. We talked to about 4 months ago. We talked to Southwest Airlines, and I know that they're looking at an incredible expansion in the number of flights that they have coming into Las Vegas, in and out of Las Vegas, in the hundreds of thousands range.
Wow.
So that's on an annual basis, but still, and then they're going to be moving in more staff into the Las Vegas area. They have one of their chief executive officers now that lives in Las Vegas. So they're looking at a major development and major increase in their traffic over the next couple of years. And we asked if was that 5 years out? And they said, no, we're going to start within the next year, 1.5 years. So it is here now. And with their lead, I think you'll see other airlines look in at their traffic and their increase in the number of flights they have in and out of the Las Vegas airport.
Wow. Okay, let's take another break. We'll be right back.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. With Nevada's only transplant center and verified burn center, the science is here. With award-winning cardiologist and the state's only dedicated heart failure clinic, the talent is here. With Nevada's most advanced robotic surgery, the technology is here. And with the Silver State's only designated pediatric trauma center, hope is here. All because we are here. UMC.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Oh, what fun it is to win during the $100,000 Christmas giveaways at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, our remaining moments with Terry Reynolds, Director of the Nevada Department of Business and Industry. I love sushi and I love salmon. People are always joking that, why in the desert are we doing all-you-can-eat sushi? The sushi will be coming closer to us in the form of salmon, correct?
That is correct. We have a firm that's looking at putting in a fish farm, all enclosed, right outside of Winnemucca, about 20 miles south of Winnemucca in Persian County, but on the Persian County, Humboldt County line. And they will produce salmon. It's going to take about 4 to 5 years to produce the first group of salmon that will go out to market. The U.S. market is huge. It's about 3 to 4 times bigger than any other market in the world. And so it makes a lot of sense to have that. So they're looking at a fish farm and looking at getting recycled water, using the waste for ag. It's a perfect fit for Nevada.
And that's where we have to leave it for now. I will be down in Carson City early next year, obviously, for the session. Please come back because we have a lot more things to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Truck drivers are some of the hardest working people you'll meet, delivering over 70% of America's freight and 92% of Nevada's. When there's a natural disaster, they're delivering critical supplies to help those communities recover and rebuild. Every sector of the economy and our nation's military rely on truck drivers. So let's take a moment to say thank you. On the open road or city streets, our truck drivers are rolling to make our economy and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
Hi, I'm Renee Summerhour, digital news anchor here at 7 at 7. Watch our streaming nonstop newscast immediately with your mobile phone. 7 at 7 is the new way for you to get every bit of local news you need in just 7 minutes. Breaking news, local neighborhood news, weather, and sports are just a click away. Reporters bring you all of what's happening in the Valley. From Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube, and more. Get every bit of local news you need from the RJ and LVRJ.com.
In the holidays with $350,000 big holiday extravaganza at Carson Valley Inn. Over 1,000 winners. Weekly cash, free play, and up to $10K in cash every Saturday. And 2 grand prize drawings. Win up to $20,000 in cash. 'Tis the season for winning big at the Carson Valley Inn.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. See you on the next show.